It is the dumbest.
It's pretty boring.
And there's no skill involved. You just slowly follow them. They even kind of realize how boring it was because you can push the people like in a direction, but it doesn't make them go any faster overall.
Oh crap! Are we seeing Zach stuff?
Maybe.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Hey,
There's
my
Glenn.
boy, what up? I have the worst hair in this entire universe.
It's like half like anime, half homeless.
Right.
Glenn Rodbrock, a representative of Wu Tai's interim government.
Yeah, it's like go either 100% disheveled or 100% cool. It's like I don't know. It's just such a weird mixture. If I saw, I mean, it literally is that just meme. How you want your haircut? Just F my stuff up, fam.
His father before him would rule by fear. What's more,
I like how they showed I think that was the mayor of Junon. Like, remember this person? Huh? Huh?
So this isn't really a spoiler to say, but if anyone actually played First Order or Last Order and played this game, they're like, why is Glenn here? Because the very end of that game, Rufus shoots Glenn, like, in the back. That's, like, how the game ends. So you're like, what's going on? That's why, like, Rufus is, like, spooked when he sees Glenn at first.
I like extended universe stuff as additions, supplementary material, right? If I want to know more about the FF7 universe, I will play First Order or Last Order. I don't like them shoehorning in some character where you're like, oh, you don't understand why it's important? What, didn't you play First Order? No! I don't even know what it's on. What's it on? Is it a mobile game?
I think it also has a port on PC. Not 100%.
Yeah.
They could have... The thing about the remake trilogy is that even though they have already adapted a bunch of stuff that I'm not super happy with, like, you know, Glenn, then they did Dirge of Cerberus, like Deep Ground and like Nero and Vice, and obviously the Crisis Core stuff. Although the Crisis Core stuff isn't that bad, we still haven't seen Angel or Genesis. Those are the two real big problems. And like canonically, Genesis is definitely alive and like exists. I guess Angel's dead. I don't know. I forget. But they could have made it way worse because in Before Crisis, there are a million named unique Turks, and they could have done that. I don't know anything about First Crisis. Maybe they all die, but I doubt it.
Who exactly is this Saruk? The invisible
I
man?
honestly kind of like having only, 4 Turks. It makes it feel like a very elite service, right? It's almost like,
Clearly aren't looking hard enough.
I'm sorry, I like bring it up every week, but it's almost like just Star Wars stuff. Like, in the original trilogy, there's like a couple Jedi, right? And you're like, oh, this is really cool. And then in the prequels, there's like a billion Jedi. And I realize it's showing how they like fall and everything, but it makes it feel less unique and less masterful. And then, of course, the sequel trilogy, literally anyone's like, you're a Jedi now. It's like, all right, sounds good.
I'm Rey Skywalker.
Skywalker. But yeah, only having 4 Turks, and one of them being like the new girl who is strong but still not quite as strong as Rune and Reno is pretty cool. I quite enjoy it.
And this game's weird because Reno's like out of it for 95%.
I haven't seen him yet, and I'm like,
You do see him in chapter 13, but
Okay.
that's it.
yeah, I was like, I have not seen Reno at all. I think I asked you one of the sit-downs, I was like, what happened to Reno again?
They talk about him when you're in the Mithril Mines, like how he's on vacation, but he's really just on like rehabilitation because he got BTFO right before the plate fell in part 1. Like, you beat him in the first game, but like in part 1 in the remake trilogy, like he is on the ground and he loses consciousness, and like you can see like there's like welts on his face. Like that's how like beaten up he got.
I wonder how, from beginning to end, story-wise, how much time takes place in FF7. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something you really think about. Obviously, I guess you could look at it like, how many times are you forced to physically, like, sleep? You know what I mean? Like, because there's times in the Gold Saucer where it's like, go to sleep, and then the next day it's like, here's this event, right? Like,
it can't be that long.
Couple months?
Yeah, I would say like at max like 2, maybe 3 months, but probably more like 2 months.
Right?
Because like Midgar only like takes a couple days.
Right. And you assume that it takes time, like, there's no such thing as fast travel in universe, you know, kind of thing, so you assume that Cid flying you into Cosmo Canyon takes like hours, if not half a day. So I'd say maybe like 2 months seems right. So that definitely makes sense for Reno being out for like, what, 4 to 6 weeks, maybe something like that.
I swear you can like count the amount of times. Like even this game, I think like takes place over not that long. You can probably literally he just woke up right there. He falls asleep in the cruise ship. He falls asleep at Calm, and then under Junon.
Gold Saucer a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's got to be overall. I want to say
Like,
maybe 2-3 months. If you try to take into consider, I'm not pretending that they do all the bonus stuff, but like just story wise, it's got to be like 8 to 12 weeks.
This game probably canonically only takes place over like 2 weeks, but it's pretty you know, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's
It's kind of cool to think about. Could you imagine if, like, in the real world, I understand that this is not the real world, but, like, if they were, like, the people generally found out about, like, a Sephiroth, right? Like, if there was, I think we talked about it before, but there's no, like, real, like, war heroes anymore, you know? Which is essentially what he is. It's like, Dwight Eisenhower became president because he was like a war hero in World War II, and everyone was like, he's seriously an actual hero. Or like Ulysses S. Grant, right? He commanded the Northern Army in the Civil War and then became president. Everyone's like, yeah, he's you know, whatever. So imagine if, like, I don't know, it was nowadays and there was a Ulysses S. Grant. And they were like, oh, this Grant guy's kind of losing his mind, you know, and, like, it, like, spreads around. The word spreads around. And then, like, a month later, literally a month later, like, hey, Ulysses S. Grant, summon this giant meteor. Like, and it's gonna, like, destroy the world. And, like, I can't imagine that, like, after Meteor, spoilers, sorry, is called that there's, like, months and months left. Like, it's gotta be like, hey, we have a couple weeks till we die. I don't know if they call Meteor in this game, but I'm really interested to see how... That was something I always loved about FF7, how you could revisit places that you haven't been at since before Meteor, and you talk to people, and all the NPCs say different things. That makes sense. Like, well, I don't know why you're bothering materia shopping, because we're all gonna die, but okay. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, cool.
I just love that world building. It's so cool.
So this part is really weird. I don't know why they added it. Cid knew Ifalna for... How could he possibly know her? And Cid knew, like, Eris when she was, like, really young. It's like, what? I guess Cid, like, worked for Shinra as a pilot, but when would he ever...
Isn't Cid only, like, 32 or something?
Like, maybe, like, he started working there when he was, like, 21, and, like, Eris was, like, 6.
Let me see.
I guess Eris is, like, more like 18.
We're gonna find out.
flying us around will be more than.
But they added that thing's like, hey, you know, how's your old woman doing?
Okay,
Ifalna?
Cid is 32 in FF7.
I guess he could be 20 working at Shinra, and Eris would be 6, like I said. it's such a weird addition.
Eris
Like,
is 22.
okay, I don't know.
So it's a 10-year age difference. So, like, yeah, okay.
But like he specifically was out there. He was like, "Hey, I want to ask you, how's the old woman of Fallen doing?" And
But-
she's quite a woman. I was like, "How do you know her?"
But he's also... I just saw this the other day, but I wasn't quite paying attention. But wasn't he kind of, like, also saying, like, not just, like, she's quite a woman, but he was like, she's quite a woman, you know, kind of thing.
I didn't notice any of that.
Okay.
But maybe, I don't know.
It's literally just a way because that's Trevor. And that's exactly what he looks like. When I saw this, I was like, what is going on? Not in a bad way. I just like how he shows up like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
they definitely just wanted to have, like, Vincent was going to show up, but they wanted to make him a little bit more important.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Clearly what they're doing is they're getting Sid and Vincent ready to be main characters in part 3. And that makes sense. You introduce them, you show them a little. I mean, when I saw that we got Sid and Vincent so late, I was like, yeah, they're not playable characters. They're not going to make a playable character you get for 20% of the game. That's ridiculous.
But, like, as of right now, Sid is very uninvested. He's, like, around for, like, until the end of the game, but, like, he's clearly just like, I'm pilot, I'll just stand back, you kids can do your thing. But Vincent's a little bit more involved, but I guess they wanted to make him, like, edgy and mysterious.
Yep.
Because he just does stuff in the background.
Yep, I'm clearly. I mean, Rocket Town, the stuff happens pretty quickly in the original game. Obviously, you don't meet Sid in Rocket Town, you meet him before it. Yo, turn on the motion sensor.
Oh, yeah. This part that, like, I don't even know why it exists. And the thing that sucks about this part, I mean, it's so minor, but you can't skip it. It's like, okay, do they really have to program this, like...
I guess
you can go left to right, like, literally, like, 5
Put the controller down, go get a meal or something. But yeah, in Rocket Town in the original, he does not want to help you right away, if I remember correctly. And the only thing that makes him want to is Palmer tries to steal the Tiny Bronco. And then he's like, that's it, I hate Shinra, you know. He hated them before, but he's like, now I'm joining you, you know, kind of thing. So,
yeah.
But I will say, for their limitations on when the story has to end, I understand why they put Sid in when they did. They were like, Rocket Town's not going to be in this game. I assume it's not in this game. Rocket Town's not going to be in this game. We have to introduce Sid. And then Sid's also a good reason in-world for how you get to places like Cosmo Canyon. Because if you look on the world map, Cosmo Canyon is not in the direct path of where they would travel, which is almost like a U-shape. It's kind of out of the way to the bottom left. So I actually appreciate what they did there.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously just wish that Rocket Town was in the game, but...
I feel like this game is god dang long enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have 90 hours in this game. I haven't beaten it yet. I've done all the bonus stuff, clearly, as we said, but holy crap.
And also the weird thing is that when we get to Rocket Town, it's clearly going to be much different because, Tiny Bronco breaks right here, so they're not going to do that again. You're not going to coast on shallow water escaping Rocket Town in Part 3 because Tiny Bronco's already broken. And then also you already fought Palmer with his stupid fight, so they're not going to do that again in Rocket Town.
They've revisited fights, so they can definitely have you fight Palmer again.
I guess so, but Palmer in this one had like a big stupid mech, but in the original game you just fight Palmer 1v1.
Yeah.
As, you know, like with the power levels of the remake trilogy, clearly you cannot do that. I mean, Reno almost literally died fighting Cloud. Like, Cloud is more strong in the remake trilogy.
Yeah.
So there's just no way that they're just going to do like a Palmer fights with a handgun.
Well, I mean, they've showed that the only people you're going to fight straight up is the Turks. Everyone else, Scarlet, Palmer, maybe Heidegger? I don't know. You never fight him. Oh, no, wait. Isn't Heidegger... Don't you fight him in the Proud Cloud? Whatever
it is he the one that's piloting it? I guess so.
I think so. or maybe it's Heidegger and Scarlet. I kind of forget. But yeah, there's no way you're just gonna fight them as characters. Oh yeah, I meant to ask. All right, question of the part. This is for everyone, including Trev. If you had to pick one, whether it's main or semi-main character in this game, best character design, just off the top of your head, single best character design. I can start if you like me to.
Sure.
Heidegger, dude. I mean, I understand he's in the first game too, but what a great character design. Like, the little bit of gray in his beard, the slick back hair, the really cool coat that, like, kind of covers his face a little. It's so cool.
I mean, for best character design of one that I like the most, probably Kate Sith for me. I really like everything about his design.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I like. Does
But
that
in
include the Fat Moogle or just him himself?
I like the Fat Moogle in this game looks kind of weird. I still really like just the cat portion. Clearly, the worst design in this game is Rufus.
You know what? The funny thing is, in terms of like how he looks really cool.
From the waist up, he looks
Yes.
cool. From the waist down, he looks so stupid.
Yeah, his. I actually considered saying Rufus, and then I was like, wait a minute, his pants are
he has
absolutely dumb.
At least he has the worst redesign.
Yeah.
Because most of the characters have very minor redesigns.
I do like Vincent's redesign, by the way. We only met him this part, so they. At first, when I saw him, I was like, I don't know if I like these red eyes. I don't know if that was a canon thing before. Like, if it's that way in Advent Children and Dirge
He definitely
Cerberus.
looks almost exactly the same as Dirge Cerberus.
But I think it's pretty cool. I think they did pretty well with that.
He definitely sticks out like a sore thumb. Because he looks like Nomura's, like...
Yeah.
Like
Pet
the
project.
like the character he cared about the most by far. And, like, he looks almost identical to Dirge Cerberus, so... But... Vincent right now has the best, like, character model in the game. It just looks like, like a pet project, like they just perfected it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to think that was Cloud, because obviously Cloud's the main character, but when I saw Vincent, I was like, oh my god. Like, even, his, like, boots or shoes or whatever you want to call them are, like, extremely intricately detailed.
And
I'm
they...
like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's just like they're
like
solid.
Claws almost.
Yeah, he has the one gold claw, and he has the bunch of belts, and the very specific cape that's tattered in a very specific way.
Oh, yeah.
And his hair is, like, so many polygons.
So much more than Cloud's. It's ridiculous. So this is... I don't know if you want to show it off after this just really briefly, but... there's some bonus stuff you can do in the Tiny Bronco, just driving, floating around in the sea.
It's very surprising how big it is, and if they continue this sense of scale with Part 3 with, like, the high wind and, like, you can go anywhere, it's going to be very impressive. But for such a one-off, like we're in Chapter 12, and
you could skip this.
Chapter 12 is pretty short. We're gonna get to, like, the Temple of the Ancients within, like, 2 sittings.
Well, because, at this point, you can just do fast travel. You don't ever have to, I don't believe, get into the Tiny Bronco until you go to the Temple of the Ancients, right? So you're just gonna fast travel straight to, I think, the Gold Saucer. But, it's really cool. There's a bunch of, islands out... It almost gives me, like, a Wind Waker kind of feel. In terms of how everything's set up. And when you're out there, there's a bunch of mini-bosses that, obviously optional mini-bosses. And apparently you can... I kind of read this when I was just researching. You can just drive from one side to the other and, like drive from this side, Costa del Sol, and, like, get to the other side and see Junon. Is that correct? Or
yeah, you can go all the way to the Sister Ray.
That's... crazy!
But yeah, it is,
yeah, just to show this off.
But yeah, when you play this game originally, this is when it's like, new quests have opened, and
oh, yes. This is
like,
the exact moment I was talking about.
It was like 10 billion, but yeah.
Wow, you can literally go the whole way across? Oh my gosh.
And this is the natural boundary. Like, there's this, like...
Are they
rock,
just like, you can't go any further?
There's
kind of
this
thing?
rock... You can sort of see it on the map. There's this rock formation.
Okay.
But you have to, like, explore most of this, because you need to get something called, like, Jetsam something for, making, like, a compass thing. Don't worry about what's over there. But yeah, this is very... It's very empty. It's very much like Wind Waker, that it's very empty.
Right. That's it gave me
But
Wind Waker vibes.
It is the sea, but it is impressively huge. Like, I've gone, like, 20 seconds, not even close to getting the Junon. But
and you go pretty fast in the Tiny Bronco,
like,
too.
if they pull this off, like, man, like, submarine, like, making a bottom layer to all this water, and then having the high wind, it's like...
Why is it getting so dark? Alright, does this just normally happen when you're here?
It just happens sometimes over certain patches.
Okay. Now, this totally reminds me of Wind Waker, because sometimes you'll just go over weather, and then that's where you find the bosses and stuff.
We'll go over to the sister, right?
Yeah, what the heck, that's cool.
There's no random encounters, obviously, but it is...
It's just huge. This sense of scale, and oh my gosh, that's probably if you were like, what is the one thing you're looking forward to most in whatever the part 3 is? I would say the submarine stuff.
Like, if they pull it off, man, it's like they have so much to do with part 3. It's like, good luck, guys.
Finding the sunken Galinka, I think that's how it's pronounced. Just finding random, like, materia and stuff. I imagine
but it's so cool. It's like, this is just like...
That's the Sister Ray.
It's
yeah.
like, this is the advancement of technology. It's just like, yep, in the remake of Final Fantasy II, you can just go over here in this big, huge sea.
And there's the high wind.
Yep.
Wow.
And
I didn't travel this
everything.
far. Well, I haven't done... I did a little bit of story stuff, so Trevor could actually do this part. This is probably what I'm going to do next.
And you can see...
You can just dock. You can just dock there somewhere.
Yep.
There. Wow. Unbelievable.
Really cool.
And that's where you did the Priscilla stuff and all that. That's just crazy.
I really hope that Part 3 gets to be as big of a game as it deserves to be, because the only thing that I'm worried about is that this game didn't sell super well.
Yeah.
Well,
not only that, but Midgar is inaccessible, at least, I don't know about the very end, but in its, like, standard set and whatever. They're going to have to build Midgar into it, right? So not only would you have to be able to go to the Gold Saucer again and Corral and all this stuff, but you're going to be able to go back into Midgar, right? Like,
yeah, I would imagine that they're just going to copy paste.
I don't care if they do, but that's still a huge freaking game.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to do anything else. In fact,
I mean, if this game was 150 gigs, they were like advertising, "Oh, it comes on 2 UHD Blu-rays." What is Part 3 going to be on?
I want them
7?
I want them to copy paste like the stuff they already made, like Gold Saucer and whatever. Not only does lore building does it make more sense, but please, you already made this stuff. Please don't spend more time making the floors you walk on in the Gold Saucer. Make the new stuff. Make Wutai. I mean, Wutai could be freaking huge, right?
It really seems like they're like playing up the Wutai conflict. So.
Yes, they definitely have.
I don't know. It just seems like everything with Part 3, there's a million things to do, and it's like, what kind of budget do they have now?
Well, luckily,
I really hope that the next game can be as good as it's supposed to be.
Luckily, 70% of the stuff that exists in the FF7 universe we've seen already, because Disc 2 does have a lot of, in the original game, does have a lot of revisiting, you know? Going back to Corel, going back to Rocket Town, going back to Junon. So I hope that saves them a lot of development time. And just obviously gives more to do, like more stuff like this. I would be very excited to see that.
Yeah, think about it. They don't have like a ton to actually like make, I guess, but it's still going to be a huge commitment. It's mostly the Highwind stuff that's like, how are they going to
The underwater is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Not huge in terms of space, sorry. Huge in terms of how much they have to do. Also, even something small like... And I know they're going to go over the top. When Sid gets in the rocket and flies into space, you know... I'm not saying that they're going to make a thing like an FF8 where like you get in a spacesuit and go out. But that alone is going to be ridiculously just detailed, as detailed as they can possibly be. I'm sure that they're going to show the actual Earth or whatever they call it there as well.
Greetings, Mr. Director. He doesn't look quite right.
Hello?
Yeah, it's mostly, if they do, like, Ruby and Emerald and Diamond and Ultimate Weapon, that's going to be a huge undertaking.
I just hope that the weapons aren't those, big fish-like things that we
really
saw.
doubt it.
I have a feeling they'll be like sub-weapons.
You, sir, should know better. You're no spring chicken. Speaking of old things, whatever happened to that wee Keystone thingy?
We need to get our hands on it. It was part of your collection, last we heard.
It was, yes. And in fact still is.
Point of order.
Dio's
My
English
ancestors
voice is so
owned it.
weird.
Don't you think that makes me its rightful owner?
A Cetra, are you?
It doesn't work at all. I didn't hear it the first time around, but oh god, it's so bad.
But still, who am I to dispute your heritage? You may, of course, have the Keystone. That is,
I legitimately have no idea how streamers who play like long games like this, or especially that do like long speed runs, don't just go to the bathroom all the time. Like, yes, there's certain times in like RPGs where it's built in, but man, that takes special commitment.
Well, I mean, they definitely go to the bathroom.
Obviously, no, but I'm
It only
saying
takes
like
a minute or two.
not what's that?
It only takes like a minute or two.
Yeah, but if you're doing a speed run, unless there's like an unskippable cutscene, you know. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying you just gotta like build it into what you're doing. Or if you're one of those great streamers that like just watches a bunch of stuff, you can just be like, I'll be right back, guys. And then it's just their chair for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I guess speedrunners, they have to commit, but I mean, regular streamers just...
I was more thinking of the speedrunners. Like, I watch a guy named Mutsky who does FF9 only on PS1 because I guess he wants pain. Even playing the PC version, which I know isn't as great, but the lack of loads and stuff was just so amazing by comparison.
then we have ourselves a
That's like a 9-hour run, and I guess there's times where there's unskippable cutscenes, but you gotta build it in.
I think the other huge problem with playing the remaster is that they have that built-in speed-up features. Like, do you
Right.
just
Can't ever use it.
you just
yeah.
disallow it, or do you do the entire run like that? It's like both are like terrible.
It's gotta be disallow. Or, I mean, the way they would do it if they allowed it would be separate categories. Allowed, in which case you use it literally every second possible. Or disallowed, obviously, in which case you don't use it. That's me. I'm all those people dancing.
Oh yeah. Which did you want to see the Yuffie date?
Sure.
Oh god, it's gonna be so turbo cringe.
Wait, you can just choose that?
Yeah, once you New Game Plus, you can choose this.
Yes.
And you can also do intimate or standard. It depends on their affinity with you.
Okay.
But we're doing Yuffie. It is turbo cringe, but it's fun.
Don't you have to do all 3 of them to get something?
Yeah, but you can just restart Chapter 12.
Oh, okay.
It does not take long.
Wow.
And
okay.
Chapter 12 starts with, you have to do the Tiny Bronco, like, just, like, swimming the shore thing. That's it. There's no, like, battles or anything. You can just do the dates, like, right in a row.
Nice. Hello. I work all day like this.
But yeah, the options were I couldn't pick Tifa because it has to be either Eris or Yuffie because I need to use cheese strats. Depending on which date you have, is they are forced on your team when you're doing the Corneo arena stuff, and having Tifa would be bad. Tifa's boring AF in this game anyway.
I think she's the best character, but I also understand about the boring. At least for the way I'm playing the game. Because she builds up stagger so much.
I mean, gameplay-wise, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. In terms of a character, she is absolutely boring as heck. It would also be weird, because, like, I just did this today, and the Eris date was, like, there was tension and whatever, and it was believable. The Tifa one, I'd be like, I don't believe this at all. I'd be like, where did this just come from?
And the Tifa one ends with, it's a little bit more intimate than the Eris one. It just feels like it's out of nowhere.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would not believe that at all. And I've done, like, everything possible to be nice to everyone. So...
They say curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, there's actually an option that, if you're playing this game originally and you just, like, have flat zero affinity with everyone, they'll choose, the date that you're on is with Vincent, Sid, and Kate Sith. It's pretty funny.
Oh.
It's so awkward. But you can choose that and watch it if you want to. But you can also get the Red 13 or Barrett date if their affinity is high enough. And for me, Eris was number 1, but Red 13 was actually number 2 because they give you a lot of like affinity boosting stuff in Cosmo Canyon.
Wait, so you can choose any of them on that thing that you just chose?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I should have chose the Vincent and the Vincent one.
But yeah, in our case, because I want to do the Yuffie, Eris, the cheese stress.
Yeah.
Can't choose either of those. It had to be either Eris or Yuffie. I was kind of figuring you're getting Tifa, but they really do railroad you into Eris.
I didn't...
There's just so many options.
Yeah, I didn't do anything differently. Like, I honestly forgot that this happens in the game. So I just did everything as I would normally answer.
It's about 8:30. Do you want me to stop now so we can do a couple Let's Tries?
Yeah, let's do a couple Let's Tries.
Yo!
Hey,
You just wake up?
no.
I heard about this really cool play going on. Got a couple tickets. Wanna see it together?
I'm not the only one who's got a big day tomorrow. You ought to get some rest.
Yuffie's theme. The best theme.
Too excited to sleep.
One thing I really like is that every single companion has, like, they combine the gold saucer theme with their own personal theme. Such a good touch. Such a good touch.
You forgot how to smile. That's where I, the amazing Yuffie, come in. Come on.
Yes, Yuffie-sama. I'm Cloud. I stand there like that all day. I go, hey.
Look at him.
He's just like, what? What of it?
Yeah, I'm on a date with a 16-year-old.
No! They allow it. Thanks, Japan.
Cloud's only 21, it's fine.
Canceled! Alright, guys. We'll see you next time. We'll do this date. And maybe... Yeah, you'll get to the heading towards the Temple of the Ancients by next time. So I got some catching up to do. Alright, guys. We'll see you next time. And bye-bye.